There are many films that bring into question the nature of their own reality, but I've never seen a film do it like this one does it. Hello, this is Nothing Fancy, and today we'll be taking a look at the 1968 documentary Symbiopsychotaxiplasm, a film about the filming of another film as well as filming the crew. Symbio starts off pretty straightforward with the director, William Greaves, stating to the camera operators he wants them to record behind the scenes for the film he is currently working on, Over the Cliff.
But anyway, Terry, your job is that you're the person that is in charge of filming this film being filmed. Right. Okay? Hey, where's the switch in this goddamn thing?
It is important to note that at this stage, the production is doing screen tests rather than shooting an actual film. And after days of repeating lines and swapping actors, the crew begin to feel a sense of frustration.
And being forced, in a way, to listen to this sordid conversation. Because you haven't heard it. You haven't been here for 8 days and listened to this sordid, horrible conversation over and over and over again, with black faces, white faces, tall ones, old ones, young ones, skinny ones, you know, convincing ones, unconvincing ones. It's, you know, it really does funny things to you.
With a poorly written script that has no sense of progression, the crew begin to take matters into their own hands, which leads us to the most interesting part of the film.
Are you rolling?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is
Roll
the
X1.
third slate.
Right.
Yeah, what were you saying, Bob, on all this?
Well, we're just sitting around here, and we're just going to rap a little bit about the film. All the people who are sitting here right now, you know, are members of the crew. You know, the director does not know that we are photographing, you know, this scene. We're doing it on our own.
The crew begin holding private meetings behind the director's back with the goal of figuring out what exactly is going on and what they should do about it, with some people simply suggesting that Greaves is just a bad director. Another theory from the crew was that he was merely a guy who wants to make a movie as a sort of vanity project, citing how he appears to act different once the camera is on him. The crew begin to question the reality of the situation they are in, with one of the crew members suggesting that it was Greaves' goal to have them meet.
To be here this way, without the director, without the actors, and it's something which we know is not a part of the film, at least not as far as we know. Well, we were sitting around the other night, and in talking, a few of us, we realized that here is an open-ended film with no plot that we can see, with no end that we can see, and an action that we can't follow. We're all intelligent people. The obvious thing is to fill in the blanks, to create for each of our own selves a film that we understand. And if we try to think about the reasoning of the director for allowing us the opportunity to do this, giving us the circumstances that enable us to be able to sit here, we can only conclude, at least we did last night, that he wanted it like this.
With no real answers, the crew has no other option but to speculate about what is real and what is created by Greaves. It is at this point where the viewer of Symbio begins to start asking the same questions.
That, not having read Bill's concept, it seems to me there's some exploration of the levels of reality and the supra levels of reality. Okay, so this is even another level of reality that we're establishing here, and it may be the biggest put-on of all time.
Trying to establish that is useless. For all anybody knows, you know, Bill is standing right outside the door, and he's directing this whole scene. All right, it could be. Nobody knows. Maybe we're all acting, all right? Maybe we're all acting, you know? I mean, I'm acting, you know, and that's it. I mean, Bill could have stood outside of the door and told me, now, Rosen, when you get in there, you tell them about this, you know, when you get to a certain point. Nobody out there knows whether or not we're for real.
Was the crew in on it the whole time? Did Greaves plan it all out, or was it actually a coincidence of a slow production? Well, it's been over 50 years, and there is still some debate. Personally, I think it would have been too coincidental for Greaves to have planned for all the behind-the-scenes to be filmed, and to not have a plan regarding the crew to do unconventional things. And I have a suspicion that at least one crew member may have actually been working alongside Greaves to incite these actions. This makes sense, considering they chose to tape everything said in the meetings, knowing that Greaves was going to see it once production was over.
when you watch this, Bill, and to anybody else out there who may be watching it too, if he decides to put this into the film. We are not trying to take the film away from Bill Greaves.
No, but
You
just
know?
for 2 hours.
disagree.
Well, for 2 hours, all right, but he's got the choice to, to edit this stuff any way he wants.
Symbiopsychotaxiplasm was an experimental documentary that flipped the genre on its head and truly challenged our standards of what we think a film should be. And it is for these reasons why I love it. Thank you for watching. Hello everybody, just wanted to say thank you for watching, and if you liked it, be sure to leave it a like. If you didn't, leave it a dislike. Cheers.
No, don't take me seriously.